The Chantry teaches us that it is the hubris of men which brought the Darkspawn into our world. The mages had sought to usurp heaven, but instead they destroyed it. They were cast out, twisted and cursed by their own corruption. They returned as monsters, the first of the Darkspawn. They became a blight upon the lands, unstoppable and relentless. The Dwarven kingdoms were the first to fall, and from the deep roads, the Darkspawn drove at us again and again, until finally we neared annihilation. Until the Grey Wardens came. Men and women from every race, warriors and mages, barbarians and kings. The Grey Wardens sacrificed everything to stem the tide of darkness, and prevailed. It has been 4 centuries since that victory, and we have kept our vigil. We have watched and waited for the Darkspawn to return. But those who once called us heroes have forgotten. We are few now, and our warnings have been ignored for too long. It may even be too late, for I have seen with my own eyes what lies on the horizon. Maker, help us all. For generations, your family, the Kuzlans, has stewarded the lands of Highever, earning the loyalty of your people with justice and temperance. When your country was occupied by the Arlesian Empire, your father and grandfather served the embattled kings of your land. Today, your elder brother takes up House Kuzlan's banner in service to the crown, not against the men of Orlais, but against the bestial Darkspawn rising in the south.
I trust then that your troops will be here shortly.
I expect they will start arriving tonight, and we can march tomorrow. I apologize for the delay, my lord. This is entirely my fault.
No. The appearance of the Darkspawn in the south has us all scrambling, doesn't it? I only received the call from the king a few days ago myself. I'll send my eldest off with my men. You and I will ride tomorrow just like the old days.
True. Though we both had less grey in our hair then, and we fought Orlesians, not monsters.
At least the smell will be the same. I'm sorry, Papa, I didn't see you there. Hal, you remember my son?
I see he's grown into a fine young man. Pleased to see you again, lad. Oh no, I left them in Amaranthine, well away from the fighting in the south. They do send their best wishes. My daughter Delilah asked after you. Perhaps I should bring her next time. As you get older, those years make less difference. A lesson often hard won.
I doubt he'll be receptive, Hal. My fierce boy has his own mind these days, may God bless his heart.
As uniquely talented as his father, I'm sure.
At any rate, Pup, I summoned you for a reason. While your brother and I are both away, I'm leaving you in charge of the castle. I'm certain you'd more than prove yourself, but I am not willing to deal with your mother if you join the war. She'd kill me if I let you go. She's already twisted into knots about Fergus and me going. Now, that's what I'd like to hear. Only a token force is remaining here, and you must keep peace in the region. You know what they say about mice when the cat is away, yes? There's also someone you must meet. Please, show Duncan in.
It is an honor to be a guest within your hall, Tyrn Cousland.
Your lordship, you didn't mention that a Grey Warden would be present.
Duncan arrived just recently, unannounced. Is there a problem?
Of course not. But a guest of this stature demands certain protocol. I am at a disadvantage.
We rarely have the pleasure of seeing one in person, that's true. Pup, Brother Aldous taught you who the Grey Wardens are, I hope.
Not permanently, I fear.
Without their warning of the Darkspawn rising now, half the nation could have been overrun before we'd had a chance to react. Duncan is looking for recruits before joining us and his fellow Wardens in the south. I believe he's got his eye on Sir Gilmore.
If I might be so bold, I would suggest that your son is also an excellent candidate.
Honor though that might be, this is one of my sons we're talking about. I've not so many children that I'll gladly see them all off to battle. Unless you intend to invoke the right of conscription.
Have no fear. While we need as many good recruits as we can find, I've no intention of forcing the issue.
Pup, can you ensure that Duncan's requests are seen to while I'm gone? In the meantime, find Fergus, and tell him to lead the troops to Ostagar ahead of me. You'll have plenty of time after we're gone. We must discuss the battle plans in the south. Be a good lad and do as I've asked. We'll talk soon.
I'm sorry, but I believe your father wishes to talk to the Arl and myself alone. Your father has left you in charge of the castle? Then I will see you at dinner tomorrow, if not sooner. As do I. Until then.
Yes? We fought together under King Maric when he drove the Orlesians out of Ferelden. Heady times. The years since have not held the same promise. It's not something a youth would understand. It will be good to ride beside your father again. Your father hasn't spoken of our time with him? That man took care of his friends. As they say, he was large as life and twice as tall. It's too bad Cailan isn't half that. I think of him as much as he thinks at all.
That's enough, Hal. You speak of our king.
Oh, the boy did ask, your lordship, as per the latitude you allow. I merely offered my opinion. The topic has come up from time to time, the young and their infatuations. I'm sure that was years ago. People change. To be honest, I have no expectations. And your father seems determined to let you find your own way. If something did happen, well, we'd address it as befits a family of our stature. I'm sure there will be much to discuss once I return. Poor weather, I believe. Their progress has been slow, but it's nothing you need worry about. In a manner of speaking, if I had reinforced our border levies earlier, my troops could have left before the rains. I confess, my confidence in your father allowed me some complacency. I guess that makes it as much his fault. I thank you. That is quite unnecessary.
Greetings, my lord. You are the Terran's son, are you not? I am a member of Arl Howell's personal guard. The rest of the Arl's forces are expected tonight. I understand you shall take charge of your father's castle once we march. Ah, then I wish you luck. Good evening, my lord.
Good evening, my lord. Oh, my lord, we were just, well, the treasury's safe. I'm not even sure why the Terran stationed us here. We appreciate that, my lord. Thank you.
Maker, prepare a place for us. Redeem our world from sin. Forgive our transgressions.
Maker, forgive us all!
Have you come to pray for your brother and father? I'd be happy to ask for the Maker's blessings with you. Please, child, call me Malol. I've known you since you were a wee babe after all. Creator of the sky, the land, and the sea. Hear your people in our time of need. Let no man have cause to fear the shadows. Let their souls be lifted upon your return. So let it be. There now. I'll be keeping a vigil tonight. You're welcome to come. There are many more who must receive the Maker's blessings before they leave. If you would excuse me. It is the least I could do. If the worst comes to pass, child, take comfort in knowing that the Maker's will takes many forms. We shall talk once the soldiers have departed.
Let's get started. On it.
Good evening, my lord.
Right.
We will serve you while the Terran is away.
There you are. Your mother told me the Terran had summoned you, so I didn't want to interrupt. Pardon my manners, my lord. It's simply that I've been looking all over the castle for you. I fear your hound has the kitchens in uproar once again, and is threatening to leave. No matter how the maids try to keep him out, he always finds a way in. You know these Mabari hounds. They listen only to their master. Anyone else risks having an arm bitten off. I'm not willing to test that. You're quite lucky to have your own Mabari warhound, you know. Smart enough not to talk, my father used to say. Of course, that means he's easily bored. Nan swears he confounds her just to amuse himself. At any rate, your mother would have me accompany you until the matter is settled, shall we? Just follow the yelling. When Nan's unhappy, she makes sure everyone knows it.
Get that bloody mutt out of the larder!
But mistress, it won't let us near.
If I can't get into that larder, I'll skin both of you useless elves, I swear it.
Calm down, good woman. We've come to help.
You and you! Your bloody mongrel keeps getting into my larder. That beast should be put down. A blight wolf is what he is. How am I supposed to work like this?
Oh dear. Mistress, calm down, please.
That's it. I'll quit. Inform the turner. I'll go and cook at some nice estate in the Banorn.
Nan, please. We'll get the dog. Calm down.
Just get him gone. I've enough to worry about with a castle full of hungry soldiers. You two, stop standing there like idiots. Get out of the way.
Oh, look at that mess. How did he even get in here? He does seem like he's trying to tell you something. Wait, did you hear that? Get out of here!
Less fighting, more dying, blast you! Let's make this quick, shall we?
Got one!
No mercy! Here we go!
Giant rats? It's like the start of every bad adventure tale my grandfather used to tell. Your hound must have chased them in through their holes. Looks like he wasn't raiding the larder after all. I've seen larger. They come up from the Kokari Wilds sometimes. But seeing as you've got your Mabari well in hand, I'll be on my way. I'm to prepare for the arrival of more of the Arl's men.
Right.
There he is, as brazen as you please, licking his chops after helping himself to the roast, no doubt.
What? Rats? Not the large grey ones?
They'll rip you to shreds, they will!
See, now you've gone and scared the servants. I expect those filthy things are dead. Oh, I bet that dog led those rats into there to begin with. Oh, don't even start with the sad eyes. I'm immune to your so-called charms. Here then. Take these pork bits and don't say that Nan never gives you anything. Bloody dog. Thank you, my lord. Now we can get to work. That's right, you two. Quit standing about. Thank you again for your help. Now, if you'll just hold on a moment. Yes? Adney, get moving with those casts. And Kath, do you think you can serve that to the turn with dirt from the floor all over it?
Miserable old bat.
Old bat, am I? We've got to work double time on supper, sweep out the hearths, and no complaining. Just keeping order. That's why your father keeps me on. The good maker knows I needn't take care of you anymore. Thank you for coming to your old nanny's rescue. That blasted hound is more trouble than he's worth. He is. Don't start with me. You've gotten all you're getting today. But what about you, my lord? Been keeping safe and well behaved, I hope? Good. I'm not exactly privy to your goings-on now that you're grown. Just an old nanny, never invited to your father's fancy meetings. Do you remember that bedtime tale I used to tell you, The Dog That Bit? Good. Then you can start. A warhound was born to the elder bitch of a tribal chief. They named him Hahaku and gave him everything. He grew up a fine, strong pup, destined to be the partner of the chief's eldest son. The young hound became arrogant, taking food from his kin and warning them, in the way of dogs, that the chief's family would punish them if they tried to attack him. Years passed, and the time for the chief's son to take a warhound came closer. Hahaku's pride swelled, and many of the people of the tribe came to the chief, quietly whispering of this dog's bullying. With each complaint, the chief saw only Hahaku's strength and pride, and sent his people away. But as his son grew, the chief watched more closely. The day might come when his boy's life would depend on this dog. If the humblest of his people would not trust Hahaku, how could he? There are many kinds of weakness. You'd do well to remember that. When the day came, Hahaku sat proudly waiting to be called, but the old chief chose Hahaku's brother as his son's hound. Hahaku was shamed, but felt no remorse. So great was his rage that he darted across the fire pit and bit the chief's hand. He shouldn't have done it at all. The chief and his son struck at Hahaku, cursing him. The hound ran into the village, seeking shelter in the tents and kennels. The other dogs snapped at him, and the tribe's people threw stones at him. Before the chief could reach him, the tribe had torn Hahaku apart. Now, what should you carry from this tale? Very true. Hahaku thought himself above the others and expected his position to protect him. But you're far too old now for an old woman to be reminding you to watch how you behave, hmm? It's a story worth repeating. That's all. Be off with you then. Tell your brother farewell before he rides off to war.
Let's get started. Hello, my dear boy. By chance, I am beginning to teach these young squires about your family's history.
Do we have to? History is boring.
Boys, you are referring to the Couslands, the very family in whose castle you live. Show some respect. If the mind is not exercised, it withers just as the body does. Perhaps you'd care to join me in teaching the lesson? Wonderful. Oh, the Coastland history is long indeed. Where shall we start? Well, records are vague, but the Coastlands became Tierns during the Black Age. Is that familiar, child? Good. I'm pleased some of my lessons seem to have stuck. At that time, your family held only the minor title of Ban. When the werewolves reached this area, Ban Mather Coastland organized a curfew and patrols within the city. Several other local bands supported his efforts by swearing oaths of fealty, making him their Tiern. Well, I'm glad some of my lessons don't disappear into that yawning chasm between your ears, young man. If I were truly a skilled tutor, I suspect I would not encounter such insouciance amongst my pupils. You can look that up later. At any rate, your family has held the Ternier of High Ever since before King Calenhad united Ferelden. In fact, Tierna Elethea Coastland battled Calenhad to maintain High Ever's independence. Calenhad wished to unite Ferelden, not conquer it. After Elethea's men were defeated, Calenhad asked her to swear fealty. The boulder where they held council still stands today as a memorial of that event. The Coastlands are ardent royalists now, but at that time, Calenhad was unknown and considered dangerous by many. When Calenhad's army reached High Ever, Tierna Elethea led the local bands against him. Obviously, Calenhad won. The history between the Coastlands and the House reaches back to the Orlesian occupation. During your grandfather's rule, of course, Orlais found it difficult to hold these lands. During the rebellion against Orlais, several battles were fought near High Ever. The port village of Harper's Ford was the Ternier's center. Its Arl was Tarleton Howe. Though nearly 90, he was still as sharp and bitter as cheap ale. Your grandfather openly supported the rebellion, but Howe sided with Orlais. Your family was forced to seize Harper's Ford before it was all over. Your grandfather couldn't afford to lose Harper's Ford. In keeping the town, your family drove Orlais from its lands. The Howes eventually joined the rebellion, when all of Ferelden united behind King Merrick and General Loghain. Just as now we united behind Merrick's son, King Cailan, to fight the Darkspawn. Thank you for indulging an old man.
Oh, does that mean we have to listen to you now?
Silence! I will not have you two becoming smart-mouthed hooligans. Perhaps you should go. I doubt they need any more distraction. I'm just going to settle in here and apparently just talk to myself for all the good I'm doing. Then left myself all this while you do this.
Right.
Good evening, my lord.
Good evening, my lord.
And my dear Bryce bought this back from Orlais last year. The Marquis who gave it to him was drunk, I understand, and mistook Bryce for the king. Ah, here is my younger son. I take it by the presence of that troublesome hound of yours that the situation in the kitchen is handled? You've always had a way with her. Darling, you remember Lady Landra, Ban Lawrence's wife?
I think we last met at your mother's spring salon. You're too kind, dear boy. Didn't I spend half the salon shamelessly flirting with you?
Right in front of your family, too.
You remember my son, Dyron. He's riding with your father tomorrow.
It's good to see you again, my lord.
And this is my lady-in-waiting, Iona. Do say something, dear.
It is a great honor, my lord. I have heard many wonderful things about you.
Don't look now, Eleanor. But I believe the girl has a crush on your lad.
Lady Landra!
Hush, Landra. You'll turn the poor thing scarlet.
As it pleases you, my lord.
I think perhaps I shall rest now, my dear. Dyron, I will see you and Iona at supper.
Perhaps we'll retire to the study for now.
Good evening, your lordship.
You should say goodbye to Fergus while you have the chance. Yes, your father mentioned that. You haven't got it into your head that you want to be recruited. There's enough here at the castle to occupy you. I don't need you off chasing danger like your brother. I know it's difficult to stay in the castle and watch others ride off, but we must see to our duties first. You understand that, don't you? It's in the Maker's hands now, and we must cope as best we can. As do I. Your father and brother are marching off to fight Maker knows what. All the assurances in the world don't comfort me, but it wouldn't help for us to take up arms and follow. Fergus and your father have their duty, and we have ours. For a few days. Then I'll travel with Lady Landra to her estate, and keep her company for a time. Your father thinks my presence here might undermine your authority. Don't worry, my dear. It won't be long. If he's not out with his men, probably upstairs with Oriana. I love you, my darling boy. You know that, don't you? Go do what you must, then. I will see you soon.
Hello again. Your castle study is wonderful. Might I ask whose collection this is? So would I. Do you have a favorite book? Good choice. Timaeus' theory on the nature of dragons and how they connect to Darkspawn is quite intriguing. Yes, though I don't know when. I will leave when your father does. I'll ride as his second. A glorified squire, more or less. I'll care for his horse and armor and such. It's quite an honor. I hope so. I admit to trepidation about facing Darkspawn, but I can't imagine an opponent more worthy of defeat. Unlike you, I am no child of a great house. If I can rise within the ranks of your father's service, it is more than I could normally hope for. I'm a bit surprised that you're not riding alongside your brother. Is that disappointing? True enough. This is no small estate like my own. If you're interested, I shall record what I can during the battle. My writing skills may be lacking, but I hope to convey a true sense of the warrior's experience. Writing such an important work is one of my ambitions. No more than anyone else. Is it true there is one here in the castle? Have you met him? I'd join the Grey Wardens in a heartbeat. Can you imagine destroying the Darkspawn forever? Becoming a hero? But I'd never gain a Grey Warden's notice. I'll have to be happy under your father's command. Of course, my lord. I am sure you have much to do yet.
That is a wonderful dog. He seems very noble and intelligent. Greetings once again, my lord. Lady Landra has been very good to me. I am lucky. If I may, your mother has no ladies-in-waiting herself. Is that usual for a noble woman of her rank? That is not a sentiment I see amongst other noble women. My family has been in service to hers for many years. Lady Landra elevated my place as a reward for our loyalty. I hope this position might pass to my daughter. Forgive me, I shouldn't have mentioned her. Her name is Amathine. Her father died of a wasting sickness 2 years ago. Thank you. He is with the Maker now. She does. Many people say she looks a great deal like me. I'm the only one who sees her father in her. I have risen very high for my people. I would not tempt fate by wishing more. Lady Landra is good to her elven servants. That is not true in many households, but I hear it is in yours. It speaks well of your father to show such compassion. I am an open book, my lord. What would you like to know? Lady Landra's manor is not half so large as your castle, so my family lives in the alienage. There, we do not stand out quite so much. In an alienage, my daughter learns what it means to be elven. As much as possible, so much of our history has been lost. No longer. I have little time for such things. You flatter me, my lord. I am not so pretty that suitors are lining up, if that's what you mean. Of course. Aren't we doing just that? What else did you have in mind? I see. I think I might like that. If I come to your door once everyone is asleep, would that be agreeable, my lord? Until tonight, then.
Is there really going to be a war, Papa? Will you bring me back a sword?
That sword, Oren. And I'll get you the mightiest one I can find, I promise. I'll be back before you know it.
I wish victory was indeed so certain. My heart is disquiet.
Don't frighten the boy, love. I speak the truth. And here's my little brother to see me off. Now dry your eyes, love, and wish me well. When there's a woman in your life, you'll understand. Bold words, little brother. I mean a real woman, not a turn in the straw.
Fergus, language!
You like to play in the stable too, Uncle? I like to hide in the hay.
Don't you listen to this. If I catch you with your clothes full of straw again, I'll send you to Mother Malol.
But Mama, she talks forever.
I wish you could come. It'll be tiring killing all those Darkspawn myself.
Surely your father would not place both his heirs in danger?
Mother and father have been fighting about it for days. It's too bad. I could have used you at my side. If it's any consolation, I'm sure I'll freeze in the southern rain and be completely jealous of you up here, warm and safe.
I am positively thrilled that you will be so miserable, husband.
Really? Was he riding a griffin?
Shh, Orin. Griffins only exist in stories now.
I'd heard that. Did he say why he's come? Good for him. I hope he makes it. If I were a Grey Warden, though, I'd have my eye on you. Not that father would ever allow it. Word from the south is that the battles have gone well. There's no evidence that this is a true blight, just a large raid.
Could that be true?
I'll see for myself soon enough. Pray for me, love, and I'll be back within a month or two. Then the Arl's men are delayed. You'd think his men were all walking backwards. Well, I'd better get underway. So many Darkspawn to behead, so little time. Off we go then. I'll see you soon, my love.
I would hope, dear boy, that you plan to wait for us before taking your leave.
Be well, my son. I will pray for your safety every day you are gone.
I keep telling you, no Darkspawn will ever best me.
The Maker sustain and preserve us all. Watch over our sons, husbands and fathers, and bring them safely back to us.
And bring us some ale and wenches while you're at it. For the men, of course.
Fergus, you would say this in front of your mother?
What's a wench? Is that what you pull on to get the bucket out of the well?
A wench is a woman that pours the ale in a tavern, Orin. Or a woman who drinks a lot of ale.
Bryce, Maker's breath. I swear it's like living with a pack of small boys.
I'll miss you, mother dear. You'll take care of her, brother, won't you?
I agree. Especially if you get yourself hurt. I will never forgive you.
Now that is a good incentive, wouldn't you say?
Enough, enough. Pup, you'll want to get an early night. You've much to do tomorrow.
Your hound is making so much noise. He seems so angry. I thought I heard yelling when I woke up, but now I hear nothing. I'm gonna see if someone's in the hall.
Show me what you got! Is that all you've got? You're mine! Right.
Tell us!
shall stand!
Darling, I heard fighting outside and I feared the worst. Are you hurt? Her scream woke me up. There were men in the hall, so I barred the door. Did you see their shields? Those are Hal's men. Why would they attack us? You don't think Hal's men were delayed? On purpose? That bastard. I'll cut his lying throat myself. Have you seen your father? He never came to bed. We must find him. I am no Orlesian wallflower. Give me a sword and I'll use it. Now let's go.
As you wish.
Perhaps we can salvage some things here. Darling, some of your father's belongings are in that trunk.
Let's get started.
No! My little Oren! What manner of fiend slaughters innocents? How is not even taking hostages? He means to kill all of us. Oh, poor fuckers. Let's go, I don't want to see this.
This should be easy enough.
Come on!
You had it coming! Let's get started.
Dear Landra, I'm so sorry. If she hadn't come to me, if she hadn't been here. Can you hear the fighting? Hal's men must be everywhere. The front gates. That's where your father must be. I have my treasury key. We could go there first and take the Kuslan sword from the vault. If anything is worth fighting to keep out of Hal's hands, it's that sword. But it may be a dangerous path. If Hal's men are inside, they must already control the castle. We must use the servants' entry in the larder to escape. Do you hear me? Then survive and visit vengeance upon him.
The castle has fallen! I'm getting out of here! Yes, my lord! Here they come!
This should be easy enough.
I will kill them all myself! Blast it!
Here we go! Right. As you wish.
Bring it on!
Let's get started. Come down! Defend yourself! Down with you! This should be easy enough. This should be easy enough. On your guard!
We're getting close to the treasury. The Kuzlan family blade lies inside. Use that key I gave you. That blade cannot fall into Hal's hands.
Right. Right. As you wish. It's either you or me. It isn't gonna be
We
me.
have won this battle, but we cannot waste more time.
Let's get started. Time for some fun. As you wish.
How dare you! The Kuzlans will not fall to the likes of you!
You had it coming!
Get out of my way!
Excellent!
Together we shall leave this place.
On it. Right. This should be easy enough. Is it just me, or do you actually think you have a chance? As you wish. Let's get started.
Look at that one.
dear?
Go, man the gates! Keep those bastards out as long as you can! Your ladyship, my lord, you're both alive. I was certain Hal's men had gotten through.
They killed Oriana and Oren. I can't believe... Are you injured?
Don't worry about me, your ladyship. Thank the Maker you two are unharmed. When I realized what was happening, it was all I could do to shut the gates. But they won't keep Hal's men out long. If you've another way out of the castle, use it quickly. I've no idea. You don't think he's involved in this, do you?
Perhaps he was sent to kill Bryce? Oh dear. Have you seen him?
When I last saw the Turn, he'd been badly wounded. I urged him not to go, but he was determined to find you. He went towards the kitchen. I believe he thought to find you at the servants' exit in the larder.
Bless you, Sir Gilmore. Maker watch over you.
Maker, watch over us all.
On it. This should be easy enough. How about you?
Rafa, we're gonna die!
Let's get started.
Go down! How dare you!
On it. On your guard!
Get him!
Desperation is an ugly
We
perfume!
must stop them! I will kill them all myself! This for my Oren!
No mercy! Right.
Oh, thank Andraste.
This should be easy enough.
There, you both are. I was
Bryce!
wondering when you would get here.
Maker's blood, what's happening? You're bleeding!
Hal's men found me first. Almost did me in right there. Duncan, found me. Brought me here.
And left you lying in your own blood? We must get you out of here!
I won't survive the standing, I think. Ah, my boy. If only Will could make it so.
Once Hal's men break through the gate, they will find us. We must go!
Someone must reach Fergus. Tell him what has happened. Yes. Vengeance.
Bryce, no. The servants' passage is right here. We can flee together, find you healing magic.
The castle is surrounded. I cannot make it.
I'm afraid the Turn is correct.
Howe's men have not yet discovered this exit, but they surround the castle. Getting past will be difficult.
You are Duncan, then? The Grey Warden?
Yes, your ladyship. The Tern and I tried to reach you sooner.
My younger son helped me get here. Maker be praised.
I am not surprised.
Whatever is to be done now, it must be quick. They are coming.
Duncan, you are under no obligation to me. But I beg you, take my wife and son to safety.
I will, your lordship, but I fear I must ask for something in return.
Anything!
What is happening here pales in comparison to the evil now loose in this world. I came to your castle seeking a recruit. The Darkspawn threat demands that I leave with one.
I understand.
Truthfully, you were always my first choice. I will take the Tyrna and your son to Ostagar to tell Fergus and the king what happened. Then, your son joins the Grey Wardens.
So long as justice comes to Howe. I agree.
Then I offer you a place within the Grey Wardens. Fight with us. We must leave quickly then.
Bryce, are you sure?
Our son will not die of Howe's treachery. He will live and make his mark on the world.
Darling, go with Duncan. You have a better chance to escape without me.
Eleanor.
Hush, Bryce. I'll kill every bastard that comes through that door to buy them time. But I won't abandon you. My place is with your father. At his side to death and beyond.
I'm so sorry it's come to this, my love.
We had a good life, and did all we could. It's up to our children now.
Then go, pup. Warn your brother. Know that we love you both. You do us proud.
They've broken through the gates. We must go now.
Goodbye, darling.